Item number SCP-1032. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1032 is to be stored in a high-value inanimate item cell at Sector 19. One unarmed guard is to be posted inside the cell at all times to prevent tampering. SCP-1032 is to be monitored at all times by a high-speed camera fitted with a macro lens capable of no less than 20 times magnification or greater as necessary to ensure that all text on the hands is legible. The footage from this camera is to be searched daily for any instances of any hand passing the 12 o'clock position. Midnight events. See description. After each midnight event, the new text for the hand involved must be recorded and its current speed and estimated time to midnight calculated. Description: SCP-1032 is a silver alarm clock of unknown make and origin. The clock is made from silver, plastic, and glass and bears 26 hands of various sizes and shapes. The movements of SCP-1032's hands do not measure the passage of time. Each hand instead measures the time until the end of an ongoing event or the destruction of an extant entity. White text on the front of each hand, in sizes ranging from barely legible to microscopic, describes the event to be measured by that hand. When one of SCP-1032's hands reaches the 12 o'clock position, several events occur simultaneously, the combination of which is referred to as a midnight event. First, the event or entity currently written on the hand ends or is destroyed. Second, the text on the hand spontaneously changes to describe a new event or entity which need not bear any relation to the previous one. Third, the hand's rotational velocity changes. To date, SCP-1032 has never been wrong. Every event appearing on its hands has ended precisely at the moment of the corresponding midnight event. It has accurately predicted the deaths of over-redacted individual organisms, the fall of redacted governments, the dissolution of redacted major agencies and institutions, the death of a language, and the beginning of the data expunged since any given hand speed remains constant at all times except during midnight events. The time to the end of any entity measured by one of the object's hands can be predicted precisely. The hands are designated SCP-1032-01 through SCP-1032-26 in order of size, from smallest to largest. The following is a list of SCP-1032's hands and their current inscriptions. A full log of all relevant past inscriptions can be found at File Access Restricted, SCP-1032-01. Current text, SCP-1032-01 rotates too fast to have a constant measurement. Predicted date of next midnight event, N/A. Notes, SCP-1032-01's only recorded text to date has been one of the three following: a thought, a sound, or a sensation. SCP-1032-02. Current text, the worst thing that will ever happen to anybody. Predicted date, SCP-1032-02 moves too slowly to measure. Notes, due to the vagueness of this inscription and the impossibility of calculating the time until its next midnight event, no useful information on SCP-1032-2 is available. SCP-1032-03. Current text, my safe classification. Predicted date, 02/06/2012. Notes, Dr. Ginther has suggested that, since SCP-1032 shows signs of self-awareness, it should be promoted to a Euclid class threat. This proposal is scheduled for review on the 2nd of June, 2012. Current text, my Euclid classification. Predicted date, 09/01/2015. Notes, as SCP-1032 has yet to manifest any properties warranting a Keter classification, Dr. Edison has proposed that SCP-1032 should be demoted to safe. This proposal is scheduled for review on the 9th of January, 2015. Yes, blindly following this prediction isn't very productive, especially when it's probably just going to make us change it back anyway. But the way these things usually work, if we don't demote it, it might start doing things that force us to make it Keter. We have enough of those things on our hands, thank you very much. Dr. Edison, SCP-1032-04. Current text, the universe. Predicted date, data expansion. Notes, it is unknown whether this refers to the actual end of our universe, to the end of all entities that could be referred to as universes, or merely to the end of the concept of universality. SCP-1032-05. Current text, a failed infomercial. Predicted date, N/A. Notes, SCP-1032-05 moves very quickly, cycling 2 to 5 times per day. To date, it has never displayed any other inscription. SCP-1032-06. Current text, freedom of the press. Predicted date, 16/05/2073. Notes, SCP-1032-06 does not specify the country or countries whose freedom of the press will end. SCP-1032-07. Current text, humor. Predicted date, 22/03/2052. Notes, N/A. SCP-1032-08. Current text, the use of the phrase "you can say that again." Predicted date, 22/03/2267. Notes, N/A. SCP-1032-09. Current text, hostilities between the nations of Africa. Predicted date, data expansion. Notes, as SCP-1032 has often predicted violent or disturbing events using apparently harmless phrases, this inscription is considered equally likely to predict peace in Africa or the destruction of the continent. SCP-1032-10. Current text, Jason W. Taylor Jr.'s sister's daughter. Predicted date, 14/10/2029. Notes, to date, all inscriptions on SCP-1032-10 have described individual human beings. These people are usually difficult or impossible to identify and locate. On 12/04/2011, however, SCP-1032-10 predicted the death of D-56342, a Class D subject then assigned to SCP-1032. 5 minutes before his predicted death, the subject was sealed in an airtight steel chamber with 2 guards. All 3 were equipped with self-contained breathing apparatus. Despite all precautions taken, D-56342 expired exactly at the predicted time. His guards were initially unable to determine the cause of death until it was discovered that his oxygen tank had mistakenly been filled with a pressurized VX nerve gas used to control SCP-redacted. Further investigation is in progress. SCP-1032-011. Current text, President Redacted's term in office. Predicted date, data expansion. Notes, Redacted is currently the president of data expansion. SCP-1032-012. Current text, Redacted burger joint. Predicted date, 04/07/2016. Notes, all SCP-1032-012 inscriptions describe non-corporate restaurants. On 06/10/1993, in an attempt to keep redacted hot dogs from closing as predicted, the SCP Foundation donated an anonymous $10,000 to the restaurant on condition that it remain in business. The owner renovated and renamed it Data Expansion. SCP-1032-013. Current text, 2020. Predicted date, 01/01/2022. Notes, researchers are attempting to discern whether or not this will constitute SCP-1032's first failure. SCP-1032-15. Current text, effective containment. Predicted date, 09/04/2690. Notes, SCP-1032-15 will achieve its midnight event at approximately the same date as SCP-094 will fully engulf the Earth at its current rate of expansion. SCP-1032-16. Current text, Project Serapis. Predicted date, 02/11/2016. Notes, data expansion. SCP-1032-17. Current text, SCP-343. Predicted date, redacted. Notes, data expansion. Data expansion. SCP-1032-020. Current text redacted. Predicted date redacted. Notes redacted is a popular Mexican soap opera. SCP-1032-021. Current text, the SCP Foundation. Predicted date, data expunged. Notes, data expunged. SCP-1032-022. Current text, concern for public health. Predicted date, 28/07/2032. Notes, it is unclear whether this inscription predicts a lack of need for concern or a lack of concern in general. SCP-1032-023. Current text, anomalous pathogenic outbreak. Predicted date, 09/12/20 data expunged. Notes, due to failures in containment typically occurring, it is projected that SCP-1032 is referring to SCP-016. SCP-1032-024. Current text, space-time destabilization. Predicted date, redacted. Notes, containment protocols of SCPs that are reality-bending in nature have been strengthened. SCP-1032-025. Current text, let there be chaos. Predicted date, data expunged. Notes, following the detection of suspicious activity in Site-999's heavy containment zone, Sector 5, Sublevel 2, involving a group of insurgents, disguised as facility guards, on-site security measures have been intensified. Immediate personnel re-verification protocols are now in effect. SCP-1032-026. Current text, the Jabberwocky event. Predicted date, 26/09/20 data expunged. Notes, the research staff are all looking forward to this.